I've noticed how lately I've been seeing a lot of the publicity and promotion around the actor Uzo Aduba. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but the actor from Orange is the New Black, her memoir is out now or soon to be, and it's called The Road is Good. And as I pay attention to the publicity around, her interviews and the snippets that I catch, I'm learning about this beauty that existed between she and her mother, who died in 2020 of pancreatic cancer, and how her mother just instilled these beautiful things in Uzo, things that she can now reflect upon, having been poured into and seen the love, the reflection, the adoration, the all of the ingredients to build self-esteem and inner strength, even though no matter what, everyone will have insecurities, right? But to have all of that love poured into her and the affection, and both physical and verbally expressed affection, to have all of that, I started to feel sad, deeply moved, and in awe and sad in moments. It's the celebration of love and grief, because I will never know what it is like to be poured into like that, or anything remotely close, by my mother. That was not what was for me as a child, to be able to now as an adult reflect upon and honor and hold, and to be able to grieve so profoundly because of the love and the connection. The more deeply we love, the more deeply our grief oftentimes. And I think about all that went missing from my mother. And I don't say this from a place of anger or blame. I've gone through many feelings over the course of my adult life, actually over the course of my life. Even as a child, I remember seeing certain things clearly. So it's not from that place. It is from a place of vulnerability and tenderness and the pain that will be there forever. The way grief has a way of being there forever, and it catches us in different moments. Grief is not a sign of something being wrong. It's a sign of an opening where either love was, or something went missing, or whatever the vulnerable thing is. It's a sign of that. And then I just think about the nature of life. My mother, now 75, and how there is no there. As Gertrude Stein says, there's no there. And that's sad. So then I think of my grief. Should my mother die before me? Some people would say the natural order of things, but as someone who has worked in hospice and palliative care, I know that there really is no natural order of things in that way. Should she die before me, what would become of my grief? Would it be deep and wide and profoundly devastating? What would it be? What would become of my grief if there is no still waters run deep, if there are no still, deeply running waters? Then what becomes of the grief if the connection is not vast and wide and engaged and profound and beautiful and loving? Even today, we're well past childhood. Well, then what would be behind the grief? Missed opportunities? It's quite interesting when you think about it. And there's something about this memoir, and I will be getting a copy. The Road is Good. That it has me thinking about my mother and that road, and how all of those things were not there. And even as an adult, there remains no there. What do we as adult children, particularly, specifically daughters, what do we do when there is no there? What do we create for ourselves when our mother could not, did not, would not, extend to us the thing that we needed? What path do we create for ourselves that would make the road good still? And what becomes of our grief when life is no longer and opportunities have certainly gone, forever missed? Where does that grief dwell? Does it twirl like a whirling dervish under the sun? Does it hide in the dark corners of the quiet haunting? Does it long for lifetimes and beyond for that which never will be? Does it sit full lotus in the awakening of knowing deeply all that is? What becomes of the grief? What do we do when there is no there? And how might our road be good? So yeah, I'm thinking about my mother in this moment. And I'm thinking about Uzo and her memoir, The Road is Good. And I'm thinking about how good my road is because of my own creation. And I'm also sitting at the table of my grief for creating that without the hands or the wisdom, the insight, the affection, the love, the connection, the closeness of my mother. So yeah, I'm thinking about those things. And I'm thinking about those of you out there somewhere who share something like what I'm saying, who can relate in some capacity, who is walking alongside the grief. You know, it's a kind of grief that comes with clarity as well when we know something, when we come face to face with it and we have to be with the truth that maybe it wasn't the way that we thought all along, and wow, I never received all of the things, and how it all affects us still in some way, right? It's sad and unfortunate that with my mother there is no there. But we sit still with the truth and reality of what is, even when what is nothing at all. Because even inside of the nothing at allness, there is still something, a curiosity, a crack where the light can get in, a wisp of air, possibility for something. So yes, I'm thinking about the road being good and how beautiful it must be to have been held by your mother along the way of that road that is good. And how those planted seeds inform your life. If you have that, celebrate that. And if you don't have that, I hope you, like I, for myself, know deeply that still the road is good. The road is good. Thank you for listening, for tuning in, being with me, hanging out, listening, sharing in my vulnerability and energetically, me and yours. I hope you come back around, spend more time with me. I look forward to it, in fact. Until then.